Hey there, thanks for joining us for an update on the strong and severe weather threat as we go into your Monday afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley here with you, going to walk you through the concerns that we have over the next several hours. We're really going to be watching later this afternoon into the evening for that possibility of a couple of damaging thunderstorms across the area. One thing I want to stress here as we talk about this is that there's not a guarantee that all of us will have severe weather. It is just a chance, and we get these from time to time in the springtime season. We've had a couple already, and like those, it will be scattered, the impacts that we see on this Monday afternoon. But it is a news to weather impact alert day because we could see some of these strong and severe thunderstorms rolling through. The main concerns would be for damaging wind gusts that could bring down some trees or power lines, but there is also the possibility of a little bit of hail in some of these storms, and also there's that low tornado risk that we want to be aware of. I'm going to start you out with some current conditions. It's pretty warm and even a little muggy outside if you've been outdoors on this Monday. This is a live view over Burlington right around the 2 o'clock hour. You can see, of course, some scattered clouds. We have noticed some sunshine breaking out in between the clouds as well. And what that can do on a storm day is really heat things up and give you some fuel. The way you create thunderstorms in the first place is from rising air and upward motion. And to do that, you really want a lot of sun. And so we're seeing a mixed bag of that right now, with morning clouds starting to give way to some of that sunshine. The humidity is up a little bit as well. You've probably felt that when you step outside. So we have a couple of ingredients at play: the warmth, the humidity, and the trigger. The trigger is going to be that cold front approaching us from the west as we go throughout the day today. Greensboro sitting in the mid 70s as well. There's already a bit of a breeze outside at about 15 to 20 miles per hour, and we are seeing some of that sunshine mixing in with some of the cloud cover as well. Take a look at current conditions across the area. Again, very mild and muggy even across our Triad region. We're already in the upper 70s. Some of us will get close to 80 on this Monday afternoon. It's quite a bit cooler in the foothills and in the 60s right now in the North Carolina mountains, so we're really not expecting strong or severe weather over that way. It's just too cool at this point. But the farther south and the farther east that you go, the warmer that it gets. Gusty winds, they've been kind of around 20 miles per hour so far today. And what we'll find, of course, is as that front gets a little bit closer to us as we go into the afternoon and the evening, is that our winds will start to increase a little bit. Even outside of thunderstorms, you'll start to see some winds gusting around 30 miles per hour or so. That's something we found a lot in the last couple of weeks. It's March, you tend to get those stronger, windier weather systems. Nothing to track on radar for you right now. It's still early. We're not anticipating anything locally until about 4 to 5 o'clock or so. But if we widen out the view, here it is. We have a line of rain and thunderstorms moving across Tennessee, Georgia, down to Alabama and Florida, starting to push into upstate South Carolina as well. Not noticing a lot of strength just yet. Most of this has been pretty manageable. There are a couple of severe thunderstorms, mostly in the Georgia area. Here's Atlanta, there's Athens right there where the University of Georgia is located. I-20 right in the thick of this as well. Eatonton kind of going through it here with that line of storms. And that's something that we could see later on today, more in that 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. window. Strong line of storms like that could be pushing through our area. You'll notice no tornado warnings in Georgia right now with that part of the line, but there is some severe weather. Down trees and power lines will be a possibility for them. They do have a severe thunderstorm watch. Remember, when we talk about severe weather, there are two kinds of alerts you can get. You can get a watch or you can get a warning. A watch means that you have the ingredients on the table to start to make severe weather. A warning means that it's actually happening and you got to take some action for it right now. So all of Georgia, really in the eastern half of the state, and most of South Carolina is in a severe thunderstorm watch right now. For the next several hours, they got to be on alert to watch out for some severe weather. Now, this is the case too up near the Charlotte area. We've seen Mecklenburg County, Cabarrus County, Union County get included into this. Same story over there toward the border areas. That's in effect until 7 o'clock. As the storm gets a little closer, we will probably see a severe thunderstorm watch issued for our area. And again, a little bit as we get closer to that threat zone. Back to the wide radar right now, there's nothing going on across North Carolina at this time. It's just a little bit too early, but we are starting to notice a couple of showers and thunderstorms pushing into the western part of the state. We will want to keep an eye on some of these. When you have a line of storms moving into your area, it's really hard for any of them to kind of rotate or spin around. But what we're seeing here is that a couple storms near Spartanburg, over here near, that's Polk County, where they had a lot of the fires recently, those storms are getting out ahead of the line. And occasionally what can happen with those is that you can get a little bit of rotation in that part of the storm because they're moving freely independently of the storm line itself. So we'll want to be watching out for that. The risk of severe weather is decently high across the area just because we have all those ingredients on the table for today. So when we talk about a severe weather risk, we use these threat levels, 1 through 5. The National Weather Service puts out these outlooks a couple of different times per day. And for today, across the Carolinas, this orange shaded area, which includes the Triad, the Triangle, Charlotte, down to Columbia, we're in a level 3. That's higher than usual for us. A level 2 for the rest of the state, that's shaded in yellow. What that just means is that the higher your number, the more likely it is that you would see some severe weather today. Now, a little bit of good news in this is that the tornado risk has been lowered for our area. Yesterday, they had us kind of in a level 3 risk of tornadoes. Today, just a level 1 here, 2% risk, which just means a 2% chance of a tornado being within 25 miles of you. So that's pretty manageable. That's pretty low, but there's still that threat and possibility that we'll want to be on the lookout for a tornado warning or two across North Carolina later on today. Let me show you our futurecast model. Again, 4 o'clock seems to be the magic number for us to kind of start to watch things a little bit more carefully. At that time, we're likely to start to see at least some showers and storms pushing a little bit closer into our Triad area. And you'll notice there's cooler air pushing in too. So this is that time of day we'll have to kind of be alert. Make sure you have your alerts turned on your phone. And if you get a warning, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or certainly a tornado warning, you want to go inside and stay inside until that passes. We will be streaming live for you if there are tornado warnings in effect for the area. Let's take a look as we get farther in time here. This would be 5, 6, and 7 o'clock. So right here, you're noticing those stronger storms are still pushing through the area. So between 4, 5, 6, and 7, that should be the bulk of our severe weather threat. This is as we go a little bit farther toward 8 o'clock, most of it is shifting over toward the Raleigh area at that point, and we're a little bit cooler at that point as well in the 60s. That's just our model's opinion on the situation, but I really do think 4 to 8 o'clock is the time we want to watch most closely. A little bit later on in the evening, that'll be when the cold front itself is moving on by. It should push through our area between 10 and midnight tonight. The main concern for this storm system would be for a few damaging wind gusts. Those are the gusts that could bring down trees or power lines, so there could be a few scattered power outages. Hail, can't rule that out in some of the strongest storms. We know a lot about that in the last couple of weeks, don't we? Tornado risk is low, but it's not zero. There is that possibility as we go into the end of this evening. Rain totals are going to be very scattered. I know we haven't had a lot of rain lately. We could use some. We would even like some. It's going to be really hit or miss because it depends on who gets the heaviest storms. It would not shock me if some people end up with more than an inch of rain, but most of us probably quite a bit less, closer to half an inch for today. Now, as we go throughout the rest of the week, mostly dry weather can be expected. Certainly for tomorrow and for Thursday will be a little bit cooler without all that much in the way of rainfall. By the end of the week, certainly by Thursday and Friday, we're going to be watching things. There's a front or two to our north which look to stay away from us at this time, and then we'll actually get a little bit cooler by the end of the weekend as a couple of cold fronts start to move our way. This is the overall weather setup. We have our severe weather threat for today ahead of this cold front. Once the front moves through, it sends some cooler air our way. So tomorrow, your Tuesday, it's cool and it is crisp. We're still in the 50s around lunchtime for tomorrow. And then for Wednesday as well, we'll be a little cool also. So the next 2 days have cooler than usual weather, temperatures in the 50s and 60s throughout the daytime hours. But for today, we already have the muggy air, we have the warmth, we have the humidity, and we have that risk of a couple strong to severe thunderstorms for the afternoon. The main time frame is 4 p.m. to around 8 p.m. that you could see a strong or severe thunderstorm rolling through your neighborhood. Keep it with us. You know, we are here to let you know what's going on. We have live newscasts every day from 4 until 6:30. You're watching us right now on WFMY Plus. That's a great place to be throughout the day because not only will we be there continuously throughout our newscasts, but we'll be there as needed throughout the rest of the storms too. That would include these top of the hour updates, which we'll try and keep in that 10-minute range or so throughout the rest of the week. the rest of the day. And also, if we need to do more coverage than that, we'll be there for you as well. So you're already in a good spot for this storm. Just kind of keep an eye to the sky as we go throughout the day. Gusty winds, possible hail, even a low-end threat of a tornado or two. That's what we're tracking here on your Monday afternoon. We certainly thank you for counting on us for your weather coverage here at WFMY. We'll see you with more updates.